this demo, we're going to look at Create with Preference Manager in PowerPoint. Create already comes with a standard set of colours and formats for text, charts and tables in both Excel and PowerPoint. Text formats are available on the Format group on the Create tab. If I click on a little task pane launcher on the right hand side here, Text Formats task pane appears on the right hand side. I can select any paragraph and apply a text format from there. To apply table formats, select a table, and from the Tables group, from the Format drop-down, choose Whole Table and choose from the table formats that are available. Additionally, for tables, we have a task pane launcher here, which will launch a task pane for borders to be applied to tables. You can just select a row or a selection of rows and apply table borders. Chart formats are available from the Chart drop-down on the Format group. There are 3 chart themes available. And the colour palette is available on the Format group. If I click on colours, the colour palette will open. Create also comes with a standard set of templates from the New drop-down. Preference Manager doesn't affect the standard templates, but you can customize them by editing them and using them as your master presentation. So let's look at customizing our settings in the Preference Manager. The first section is the color palette. You can import a color theme from your current presentation or from the selection available in the drop-down. Choose from the selection and click Import from Selected Theme. Click OK, and it will open up and show you the color palette. If you're happy with that, you can save. You can then apply that theme to your current document. And if you wanted to make any changes to the color palette, you can access it by clicking on Define or Edit Color Palette. You can right-click to change a color or rename a color, or you can double-click to access the color dialog where you can add or edit an existing color. When you right-click, you can also change the color of the font that will appear on top of the color from black to white or vice versa. If you make any changes, remember to save. From the options here, you can choose to automatically generate colors for the chart series so that 3 chart themes will automatically be generated based on your color palette. You can also choose to only use the last 6 columns when you're generating the chart series. Back in the color palette, you'll see that the first 3 columns are usually referring to font and background colors. The main colors will start to appear in the last 6 columns, so check that option if that's the case. And if you want white to be ignored when creating chart series, check that. They're all checked as a default. Next, we can set our chart settings. Here you can set the font color, the font size and color, and you can have a different color for the title as well. Choose your font, your size, and your font colors just by clicking to access the color palette. Chart margins, this is referring to the amount of space around the plotted chart. Choose the required margin from the list available in the drop-down, or none if you don't require a margin at all. All of the other attributes here can be displayed or not. You can either check the box to hide the attributes, or click the color box to change the color of the attribute. For axes, lines and grid lines, you can also choose the weight of the line as well as the color. To view the chart themes that were automatically generated when you edited your color palette, click on Define or Edit Series Colors, and these are the chart themes: solids, tints and dark light. And if you wanted to change any of those, you can click to apply a different colour. Just remember to save if you make any changes. So that's the basic chart settings. There's also advanced charting features. So this will affect the colours that are applied to other chart elements such as average area and lines, compound annual growth rate lines, waterfall bars and forecast areas. Just click on any of those to change the colour. And those settings in the advanced charting features are referring to the features that are available on the chart in the charts group on the Create tab in Excel. So back in PowerPoint, we can now customize our table formats. Under Other Settings, click on Customize Table Formats. Another dialog opens referring to all of the table formats. The header row is the first row of the table, which usually contains the column heading. So this may be a different font size or bold. Or you can change the font as well if you wish. So we've got Arial. You can change the font size here and choose from the font style available. You can also choose the font color. In this case it's white because it's on a background of blue. And if you wish to include borders as well, you can do so here. If not, just check on the none box. The table body is referring to the rest of the table. So here you may have a different font or size and font style. And again, choose the font color and whether you wish a background or borders. And there's a separate style for the table total. If you wanted this to be bold, you could apply that here, and if you wanted a different font style, you can apply that here as well. And then a color for the shaded row. Again, this is another table format that's available, table with alternating shading. You can choose to have a lighter color here for the shading, and then click Save. To save your changes. It will remind you that you can revert to the default settings at any time if you're not happy with your settings. I'll just click OK. And then we can customize our text formats in the Customize Styles task pane dialog. You'll see the list of styles on the left hand side. So this is referring to the styles that will appear on the text formats task pane that I opened earlier in PowerPoint. To edit any of these, select one and click on Edit. You'll get a preview and then the details for the style itself, and then you can just click to change if you wish. I can change the font size here. If I click on body font here, it will apply the same font as the body font in the PowerPoint theme fonts of the current presentation. If I click on heading fonts, it will apply the same font as the heading font. Select this to select font to enable the launch button to apply your own font style here. The font color can be changed. And you can also change the text alignment of the selected style. So perhaps the headings would be centered or left. If your style has a bullet, you can apply it here. Once you've edited a style and you're happy with it, you need to update to apply those changes to the style. And then you can go along to your next one. So for the bullet style, for example, click on Edit and you'll see it's automatically defaulted that it has a bullet. You can choose the bullet font, 100% of the size is what this one is set to. You can choose the bullet character and then the indents down at the bottom. When you're happy, click Update and then Save to save your changes to that dialog. In Manage Preferences down at the bottom, you can restore all the settings in the Preference Manager to the original default settings. You can also import or export settings from or to another location. If you've been sent the settings files from another location, you can browse to that location and import them. If you're exporting, you click on Export Settings Files and it will automatically save the setting files that you've just applied. You can browse to where you want it to be saved. and then click OK. When you're finished with the Preference Manager, remember to save. For the changes to take effect in Excel as well, you'll need to close and reopen Excel, and if you've accessed Preference Manager in Excel and made changes there, you'll need to close and open that for the changes to take effect in PowerPoint. Click OK. It will update any available templates so that those settings are available in all of the templates in PowerPoint. It will also ask you if you want to regenerate the previews. So those are the previews that are available when you're in the Format Table dialog. And this will take a few minutes, so if you have the time you can do it at that point, or you can do it at a later stage. I'll just say no for now. And that means when I open another presentation based on from the Create tab, the new drop down, those settings will be available. So I've just started a new presentation. I can type in my details, click OK, and when I go to things such as my color palette, that's my new color palette available. And in Excel, again, the color palette is available on the Format tab. And for formatting table data, if I select a selection and go to the Tables group and Format Selection, you'll see if I apply, that's my new format that I created when I was in Preference Manager in PowerPoint. These are the table previews that would have updated if I'd chosen to do so when I saved my settings. Text formats are available on the Format group again. And the chart themes are available when I format a chart. From the Format drop-down, Format for PowerPoint, there's the 3 themes. And all of the other settings from the advanced charting features are available in the Charts group in Excel. So that's Create with Preference Manager. Thank you very much for watching.